All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I'm going to actually title this video, Disappointed. If you want fair and balanced news reporting, here it is. Before I get started, I want to lay out some facts, and I want each and every last one of you to be able to comprehend, to be able to understand the reason why I take certain positions. Now, remember, you've often heard me say this in many of the political videos that I've done, that I am under no illusion whatsoever at all that the things that I think should take place will take place, because I know the nature of politicians. When their mouth is moving, they are lying. And remember, concerning law, concerning politics, there's never, ever such a thing as the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. What is involved is strategy. So I just gave you a tidbit. You notice that anytime you're dealing with law, it has to do with who has the best strategy. Now let's go in here. Let's go back to 2005 when Katrina hit for a second. And mind you, this video is definitely about Syria. In 2005, when Katrina hit, what did President then Barack Hussein Obama do? Why, he went golfing. He sure did. That's how much he cared about the plight of those people. He went golfing. What else took place? Well, we saw martial law implemented. We saw people being gunned down there in New Orleans, as well as the surrounding area. We saw people resort to looting, robbing, stealing, raping, murdering, killing. We also saw the National Guard, as well as everybody else, turning their guns on people. We saw gun confiscation. We saw the whole 9 yards. Everything that you believe that shouldn't take place in America is taking place in America. We saw that the prisons were locked down and prisoners was inside of prison facilities with water up to their neck. We saw all types of atrocities. We saw people stay and try to defend their home front, only to have the cops turn against them. In other words, civil authority did not work out for the best interest of the people. And of course, what has PastorDowell been screaming and hollering? I've been screaming and hollering, get out of the city, prepare yourselves, and sometimes it takes atrocities like this just in order to get people to start to believe. Because we as humans, especially in America, you see, I've lived outside of America for quite a few years, and I have a well-rounded view of what the world is like. And I can tell you one thing, it's not like the deception of this country, America, that we find ourselves in. And this is the thing that we spoiled as Americans never seem to understand. We never understand because we assume that since we have never, ever experienced catastrophe, we have never, ever experienced disaster, we have never, ever experienced any type of conflict in our lives as a country, as a whole, that it would never, ever come, because after all, we are America. Well, Americans found out real quick that the government is not for you in Katrina. If you don't believe me, ask the people in Katrina. As a matter of fact, one of the people I've been recommending, Nola Girl 504, I'm going to include her video down here and her perspective and point of view and her experience from Katrina. Well, you found out that if you didn't prepare, guess what? Nobody cares about you. The trucks stop running because they're not going into these areas. And there's a lot of suffering. And what are people going to do when there's no more food, no more water, no more necessities coming to those areas? Tell you what they're going to do. They're going to resort to survival mentality. Excuse me. Excuse me one more time. All right. There is a nature in man, an inept nature in man. And I believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I'm going to say it again, I call it a bizarre behavior. We have such a bizarre behavior that is deeply and collectively embedded in the subconscious mind of us as men. I don't think nobody can do nothing about itself. Of course, it's even being sealed and blocked even more through GMO, fluoride, and everything else that's going on in the world. And people lose all reasoning. And they continually make the mistake that when disaster strike, that somebody's going to be there to take care of you because you wasn't wise enough. And nor did you were so selfish that you decided to not make any choices and decisions to preserve yourself. Now, with all that said, guess who did come to New Orleans in 2005? Guess who did buy food and water and was out there in a baseball cap, even wearing shorts, that actually fed the people that was down there with all the resources he could muster up while President Barack Hussein Obama was out teeing off on the golf course. And mind you, he was out teeing out on the golf course. During his presidency, he went almost 400 times on golf trips. 400 times. But guess who did show up? Then billionaire Donald Jeff Trump. At least I think is what the J is for. Donald J. Trump. He showed up and fed the people who were impoverished and in poverty. Now, watch this. Let's fast forward till today and use a little bit more history. I remember when Hillary Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, John Kerry, all of them bullish Syria, 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 Syria. We need to go in there and stop al-Assad. Oh, wait a minute. But he's fighting against ISIL. That's commonly called ISIS. But he's fighting against them. You know, the people who we don't want in power to deal with, even though we bought weapons and helped arm them. What is this stuff? And mind you, what has taken place? I'm going to give you a lot to think about here this morning. Of course, I know many people are not thinking because it's more comfortable anyway. In this country, right here, ever since Donald Trump has been elected president, let me get this right now. Let me get this right. Because you're talking about an angry, upset, disappointed man. And I didn't say you was not going to ever experience disappointment because nobody in this world is what we call perfect, right? But watch this. We can't get Obamacare repealed in this country. Bam! Roadblock. Dang it, we went there and it's just solid and may take years. May take years to get it repealed. We're going to build a wall. Tall. Man, we ain't even begin to planning stages even started on that thing yet. Man, can't get that done. Wow. We want to bring jobs. Well, all the corporations on board and stuff, but nobody's got hired and nobody's making $20 an hour yet either. Man, it seems like every single piece of legislation that I'm trying to pass through Congress, man, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill climb. I can't get nothing done through Congress. President Donald J. Trump. Man, this politics stuff is tough, man. It's a whole lot tougher. I thought that if I'm president, man, I'm Caesar. I thought if I'm president, I'm Alexander the Greek. I can pretty much do what I want to do and sign off executive order and force the hands of everybody to do my will. But dang, I can't get nothing done with this Congress. The confirmation of the Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. We may have to use the nuclear option. Politics, filibustering, the whole 9 yards. Everything is not working the way that we thought it should. Why are we having such a difficult time? I can't get nothing done with this Congress. And we are the Republicans and we control the House and the Senate. I tell you, the House couldn't get the bill passed, but you know what? Doggone, we've been working so long, can't get the bill passed. So you know what? The House, ping, we decided to knock down the gavel. We're taking a 2-week recession. We're going to take a 2-week vacation, excuse me, from Washington, D.C. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll get back at it. We can't get nothing done. Man, this stuff is harder than what I thought. And of course, Paul Ryan throwing the president under the bus, because to make no mistake about it, he may be what you call, by word of mouth, what you call a Republican, but that man's a liberal. He's to the left, big time. All right. And mind you, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and I tell you what, man, there's been a lot of bombing, a lot of death, a lot of hell, a lot of destruction, and a lot of carnage. And guess what? All without Congress approval. President gives a word, go get him! Wait a minute, I thought according to the Constitution of the United States of America, that Congress is the one that has to be able to declare war. Now, let me see. We can't get health care reformed. We can't get health care reformed, the Obamacare, and get it repealed because Congress blocks it. But we can go bomb the hell out of Syria for the alleged chemical attack up on his people. Let me see. We can't get Neil Gorsuch confirmed to the Supreme Court, even though the Democrats were for him a few years ago at one of the lower courts. But we don't need Congress. We can get we can go over to Syria and bomb the hell out of them. That's what we can do. We can do that because of the accusation. We have I want you to listen to me very carefully. I want you very, very carefully. We have no doubt in our mind. Rex Tillerson. That's what he said. Secretary of Defense. You hear the wording? We have no doubt in our mind. Well, what does the intelligence sources say? We have no doubt in our mind. Well, what does the proof say? Russia says that there was an attack upon their chemical facilities. Wait a minute, I thought their chemical facilities were already handed over. I thought Bashar al-Assad had already handed these things over and there was no more chemicals there. But Russia says there was an attack on a chemical facility that actually leaked out these gases and stuff, and as a result, 100 Syrians died. Y'all see what I keep talking about? Mental gymnastics, stage playing, being able to connect the dots, because what I'm telling you, ABC ain't going to tell you. Fox News is not going to tell you. MSNBC is not going to tell you. CNN is not going to tell you. None of them is going to tell you. Now, you know what? There are people who used to do a lot of reporting of news on YouTube. They are hurting. They used to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. And I heard one guy, I think it was over a second to talk, he made $1 yesterday. Man, a lot of people have quit their jobs. A lot of people have changed their lifestyle. And guess what? YouTube is just pull the rug right out from under there. I've always lived my life in such a manner that if the system fails, I can still survive. But if you got that mentality that you're making all this kind of money and it's always going to be there, you're in trouble. You deserve exactly what you get. So I digress for a moment. Forgive me for a second. Let me get back on point. All right? And I know there's some of you don't care because you're full of your selfish self. You don't care, but let me tell you something. Your laughter and your joy and your happiness is all going to be turned to mourning one day simply because you are a fool that didn't listen. All right? But that's what the Russians reporting. So we can't get Neil Gorsuch confirmed. We can't get Obamacare repealed. We can't start building the wall because Congress is all in the way. But all of a sudden, when it's time to go blow the hell out of an airfield in Syria, man, no problem. No backlash, no nothing. You know what? Good old boy club, business as usual. And y'all pay attention to this. Pay attention to this if you ever see the president sitting like this. That's code word. All right. Moving on. Utterly amazing. All these things, man, Congress seem to be in the way. Man, I'll tell you what, has America created dictators, Caesars and stuff? Because it seems like we have no opposition when it comes to taking life. First of all, didn't Donald Trump run on America needs to mind its own business and stop all these warrantless wars and everything else? I'm going to tell you what I personally think this move was. This move was a shout across the bow and a warning to the whole entire damn world. There's a new sheriff in town. And if you don't think I mean business, you think I'm just speaking words. And this was the first opportunity for him to actually show you that actions speak louder than words. You think I'm just speaking words? Guess what? All right, Navy. Send 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles over there into Syria and show them we mean business. Show the world we mean business. So North Korea, you've been put on notice. Taxpayers of the United States of America, you just went $100 billion more in debt. Because them cruise missiles cost money. And those of you who ain't stacking silver, you better get ready, because an intercontinental ballistic missile burns up 500 ounces of this precious metal right here. Perfect for detonation. Somebody sent me, look at this, I got this. Donald J. Trump, history in your hands. 45th president. I have a PCGS MS-70 perfect strike. Check that out. Amazing, huh? America warned Russia what they were getting ready to do concerning Assad and Syria. Let me throw some more out here. I know I got your head popping for those of you that are interested, because you see, what I talk about is ultimately going to affect not only your thinking, your thought pattern, your mindset, and the way you conduct life and the way you go about doing things. All right, it's going to chart your course for the rest of your days. Because remember, people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and the reason why they reject it. They throw away anything that they do not believe is equivalent enough for them to know or understand. And most time, thinking and thought and being informed is too painful. And so therefore, I ain't gonna worry about it. Somebody is always gonna do the thinking for me. But anyway, what's really amazing is that Russia was informed by the United States of America that we're gonna go and bomb Syria. It's a mess, isn't it? Isn't this a literal mess? Russia is Syria's ally. They got all these people over in that region that can police that area. Donald Trump ran under the ticket that we need to keep our rear ends at home and stop all these wantless wars and bring the troops home. I keep telling y'all, this is a maverick move right here. Putting the world on notice. This was an opportunity he was waiting for. Chomping and nothing in his bit, lipping his chops. Because in 2013, I remember distinctly that even himself, Donald J. Trump, sent a communique to Barack Hussein Obama. Stay out of Syria. Leave Syria alone. La, 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 la. So what's going on? What's going on? Well, you remember that there's this global agenda that was mentioned over in 2003, 2004 about this whole Middle East and stuff, and how that America was going to literally run a blitzkrieg through that whole entire region over there. What do you mean, PastorDowell? Meaning Iraq, Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. I can go on and on and on. They have plans to wipe all these people off or either put puppet masters, Egypt, to put puppet masters up. Remember Iraq? Saddam Hussein, the dictator, that wicked man, killing his own people. What about over here in America? People dying on the streets at the hands of the police state. Oh, arm the police, put more out there. We got him. We got him. We got Saddam Hussein. Well, what did he do? He had weapons of mass destruction. Oh, that's right. We couldn't find any. But we got him. We got him. We got him. Oh. Do you know what Omar Gaddafi's sin was and trouble was? And the reason why America ousted him? He wanted to bring about a pan-African currency backed by gold. Yeah, he's going to make Africa united. America said, what? These people people are trying to get rid of the petrodollar. We can't have that. We're going to trump up some charges. We're going to get him. Gaddafi is no longer either. Hugo Cesar Chavez in perfect health. Perfect health. Within a matter of weeks, he gone. What happened? Heroes that the government calls criminals. Edward Snowden, Julian Assange. That's one thing. You can say what you want. Say what you like. But you know that WikiLeaks has never lied concerning any of their leaks. No wonder the American government wants their head on a platter. These folks are telling the truth about our government. Donald Trump can't get nothing done through Congress, but you know what? Congress is silent concerning Syria. Man, a lot of people back pockets are getting armed and lying, didn't it? You know, and another thing. Do you think we're really truly concerned about all the atrocities going on in the world? Listen, let's go ahead and speak reality. Let's speak truth to power. All across this country, all across this world, there are people suffering. There are people dying. There are people starving. There are people that are suffering horrific diseases. The water supply is literally destroyed. Of course, I believe it's a whole lot worse here in Flint, Michigan, in America and stuff. You know, free home and free land of bread. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, all the chemical, the pesticides, herbicides, the fluoride and everything else and stuff is causing more diseases. The water. Listen to me. PastorDowell is telling y'all that the water in this country, when you drinking from the municipal water supply, or you going out and buying Coke and Pepsi and all this other stuff, water, beer, water, that's all been treated by these sources, water. All you're doing is ingesting fluoride, whatever dope that somebody done took in their body and pissed out and stuff is sitting in the river. You ever notice now that the fish in the rivers is not even safe no more? They don't even look healthy. That's why if you can find a spring, if you can find a natural spring-fed lake and stuff and go fishing, you be fortunate. You are very fortunate, because we have done and we have made sure, especially through all these chemtrails flying across the sky up here and stuff, that we've literally destroyed everything. Look at the fruit trees. What's done happen? Man, trees are dying. Food supplies drying up every single where. Oh, PastorDowell, you are conspiracy theorists. But I tell you what do you do when the so-called conspiracy theory has now become fact? I don't mind telling you, I'm sorely disappointed in Donald Trump. Sorely disappointed. It is, again, he has just showed his hand that it's business as usual. Now, I told you, remember, I'm under no illusion that many of you think that I'm always, because I report facts, people automatically assert, well, your boy Trump, well, your boy this. I told you, I don't trust no politician in Washington. If their mouth is moving, they are flat out lying. And they ain't never made a president out of Trump. What I do is talk about what they said, hold them to the fire, and you don't see no bias. None right here. You don't see no spinning coming out of PastorDowell. I call it for what it is. But it seems like we have dictators in a country called America. It's utterly amazing. Bashar al-Assad is actually fighting ISIL, who we supposed to be fighting. But when you got people in office like Too Fast, Too Furious, Eric Holder and stuff, arming the drug cartels and stuff, then they turn around and use the weapons to kill American people and stuff. I'll tell you what, man, do we got a bunch of psychopaths, prating maniacs that's running this world, running this country? I tell you what, the powers that be, they mean business. They sure are putting on a good show, though, ain't they? They are grandstanding and they are stage playing to the zenith, aren't they? Aren't they doing a good job of it? So much for mind your own business, America, and stay in your own backyard. But I'm telling you, this was a, mark PastorDowell words, this was a maverick move right here. You people think I'm playing, don't you? You really think I'm playing. Bomb, 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 Iran. John McClane. Remember that? Wasn't funny though, was it? It actually came to pass, wasn't it? It was all funny then, but it ain't funny now, is it? It came to pass, didn't it? And I feel for the veterans. I used to be, I'm a veteran. I feel for them. I feel for the military. Because, you see, the military is designed to take orders. They're not into politics. They don't know. It's like police officers. They ain't into politics and stuff. But, you know, they don't know. All they do is the order come down. This is what we're going to do, and they're accomplishing the mission. That is their mindset. And the majority of veterans, 99.9% of them are totally oblivious to what's going on in the world. And many of them are dumb on purpose, or they have been dumbed down, because when you come out of public school and you go into the military, 18, 19, 20 years old, you ain't been taught all this stuff. Everything I've ever learned, I've had to actually learn it independently. I've had to burn the midnight oil. I've had to do it myself. Research, study, read. You know, all this stuff, I came into being and knowing when there was no internet available to us, because, you know, in my days of research, religious, social, political, economic, I had to go to bookstores. I had to go to bookstores. I had to go to libraries. I had to sit down and spend hours on end. There was no buttons to push, and Wikipedia was there. There was no buttons to push, and you could Google everything. It was. We had to burn the oil, the oil, the oil, the oil, the oil. And what does the word say? Hurt not the oil and the wine. And you think America, even though the euro and everybody else is starting to bail on this petrodollar, don't you make a mistake. America's going to do whatever it can to make sure it preserves its status as the world's long superpower, and that the dollar stays king. China just fortunately came up and discovered a gold mine, over 200 something tons of it, gold. China's positioned themselves to become the next economic superpower. Boy, I tell you, Singapore is looking pretty good, isn't it? They're actually building an island in the middle of an ocean. Oh, man. Exactly 100 years ago, 100 years ago, America entered into World War I on yesterday. Exactly 100 years later, we sent Tomahawk cruise missiles that has a 1,000-mile range over into Syria and allegedly destroyed aircrafts, staging places. We made sure no civilians were hurt and harmed. But when the president saw the picture of the little babies and the moms and the children and the harmed in this chemical attack, suffocating, I told you, I confirmed, you got to find out. Remember, I told you it was either nerve or blood. They used nerve. Suffocation, fixation, just can't breathe. It just takes away. It is a very excruciating and very painful death. And a blood agent is even worse than that. Worse than that. And you don't want no parts of it. Like I said, most of you can't even take the methane gases that come out of an outhouse or your bathroom. How in the world you gonna be able to? I'm telling you. Anyway, I think I done exhausted myself enough for those of you who actually give a care. Well, PastorDowell, what is the purpose of all this stuff? What is the purpose of knowing what you know? What is the purpose of being informed and stuff? So you can wake the hell up out of sleep and wake up out of matrix, so you can chart your course to know exactly where we are in the history of time, so you know how to better prepare yourself rather than depending on somebody else to do it. Because I'm sorry, everybody ain't going to be benevolent towards you when you had no physical responsibility in yourself. You think that people are going to sit up here and prepare themselves, store food, store water, and then you going to come to their door with big dog puppy eyes with tears streaming down, and they're going to give you up their food? They're going to give you up their water with your selfish self when you had a chance to prepare and you didn't? You are a fool. Y'all think my blood pressure's up? I'm telling you what, I can't stand ignorance. I really truly can't. The one thing I cannot stand lazy individuals. I cannot stand lazy, apathetic, complacent, lethargic people. I can't, it's just, everybody has a pet peeve about something that irritates the living hell out of me. It does. You know why? Because Pastor Dowell is a producer. My brothers and sisters at Straightways are producers. You get it? We work with our hands. We get jobs done. And you can't live on Straightway if you are a lazy person. And if you ever come here, you're a lazy person, I promise you, it will not be too long before you'll be running out them gates with some trumped up excuse of the way that we are. You're going to tell people that you're lazy, you're sorry, you're selfish and inconsiderate and all about, you don't never hear that. Oh, that Pastor Dowell, oh, that Pastor Dowell, oh, that Pastor Dowell, Pastor Dowell, oh, that Pastor Dowell, Pastor Dowell, he did this, he did that, he did that, and he doing this, he doing that, he. We some sick folk. We are some sick folks. You know what? Anybody who has ever been any benefit to us in life, it is ingrained in our human nature to destroy relationships rather than build them. And anytime someone doesn't do things the way that we think it ought to be done with our dumb, ignorant self, it is ingrained in our human nature to destroy it. You know the reason why? Because we like following our own heart. We like following our own mind. And you know, ain't nobody out there more intelligent than you are. You know, I got all this gray hair all over my head, all over my face, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that. I mean, you've been living 20, 30 years, and I'm a man that has shown you by lifestyle, shown you by wisdom, shown you by experience, shown you by knowledge. I preach it and I live it, but you know what? You know more than I do. That's utterly amazing. You know, we're getting ready for Passover. Some of the saints are here. I got to get myself ready to get to the dining hall because at least I'm getting ready to meet a people who are awake and who comprehend, who get it, and who understand. And I love seeing my brothers and sisters that's coming from all over the world. At least I get to have my little short experience of a little bit of heaven on earth for these next 3 or 4 days as we begin to celebrate the Passover, because now we are in our Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, we're at the turn of the year. Rosh Hashanah is not in September. There's no such thing as a Rosh Hashanah. Anyway, you know what? If I disturbed you, I sincerely apologize. I do. I sincerely. I support your right to be dumb on purpose. I do. Go ahead, eat your meal, be happy, go back to sleep, because tomorrow we all gonna die.